Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a scored review for the Grandia HD collection for the original Grandia. Now,
Game Art.
before I get started on this review, oh, hold on. Okay, back to the game. Now, as I was saying, I'm going to be doing a scored review on the Grandia HD collection for Grandia 1. Now, this game was developed by Sickhead Games, I believe was the name of the company, and it was published by Gung Ho Entertainment of America. Now, this game was also done by Game Arts and ESP respectively back when it launched in 1997 and 1999, as you can see at the bottom here. And I'm not going to load up the beginning of the game for this. I'm just going to go ahead and bring up my file at the end of the game. I'm not going to show the ending or anything like that. I'm just going to pretty much leave it right here on this screen and maybe walk around in certain areas. Now, before I get into this review, if you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps my channel, and I would appreciate it a lot. Now, excuse me. Now on to the review. I review games based on 5 categories, which is graphics, graphics, story, music and sound effects, gameplay and controls, and the achievements. I'm going to start with story. Okay, the story for this game, to put it simply, is probably the game's strongest selling point. It is a story of a young kid who wants to grow up to become an adventurer, and it's a coming-of-age tale as he becomes an adventurer and eventually the hero of the world. He meets a love interest, gains a whole bunch of friends, you defeat the enemy, you solve a bunch of mysteries that's going on in the world. So I'm not going to put a whole bunch of details into this for those of you who actually want to play and experience the game. But needless to say, it is a story worth experiencing at least once. Now for the graphics, I'm a bit disappointed in this. The original pixel look that these games had on the original consoles, being I can't remember the original platform it was on, but I played the PlayStation version, which is the version this is based on. I want to say it was the Sega CD, but I'm probably wrong on that. Could have, but granted, the HD remake does sharpen a lot of the things in the game. But the issue I've had with this was, they gave it the AI looking upgrade, which kind of makes everything look kind of smeared. And I've never been a fan of that look. But the CG scenes for the cutscenes that they use and the animated scenes for the cutscenes that they use look stellar. But like the characters themselves will sometimes have tearing. You'll see their parts separated to some degree. And if you actually look at the background here in the picture, you'll see like the very angular look. It really brings forth the whole polygon look. So the graphics compared to the original version, to me, have come down a little bit, even though the images are sharper. I think the backgrounds and stuff like that look a lot better, but they a lot of times have tearing and stuff like that in it too. This game, which I know it's not going to happen, could really go for an update that fixes that. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. Now for the music and sound effects. This was also something that this game really excelled at. The sound effects are pretty good. They have a lot of interesting sounds and choices. You can actually hear your characters running, and there's a lot of voice acting in this game, considering how old this is. This was back when voice acting was still kind of new when it first launched. So if you actually listen to it, you can hear where it was recorded in a not so well done recording studio where there isn't a whole bunch of like noise cancellation, because back then it was new, so not everybody had access to that. Now on the flip side, the music for this game is stellar. Well, granted, it's not like Nobuo Uematsu from Final Fantasy stellar. It does have a large amount of amazing tracks for this game, especially the theme for, like, I can't remember the name of the song, but it's the one most commonly referred to Justin when he's like getting ready to start his adventure, and you hear it a lot, and it's very well done. It gives like a grand sense of adventure going on, and a lot of the music and sound effects that they chose for the different areas in the game do fit with it, so the music is great. Now for the gameplay and controls, to put it simply, this game is very simple. You move around, you can control the camera, and it's a simple turn-based RPG. So there's no complicated button inputs for the controls. Now, the gameplay side, as far as I'm aware, this is the only turn-based RPG, well, active time turn-based RPG I've came across that's had a time bar and an action bar, where if you or the enemy catch the enemies during their action bar with certain moves, you can cancel out their attack or their ability or whatever it is altogether. So it adds some strategic value to the game when you play, which is really nice. And it's also a game that, it being a 3D arena-ish, I mean, you can tell it's 2D in the battles, but they make it look 3D. Your spells and abilities actually have AoEs with a lot of them, and it doesn't tell you what the AoE is. You just kind of have to guess, are these enemies close enough together to hit? So it's got a lot of pluses for the combat and stuff like that. One of my issues with the gameplay is this stupid thing right here, stash space. I'll be honest, they should have gotten rid of this and just given you an inventory stash separate from your characters, because you very, very, very quickly run out of space with your characters. But an upside is this game is a bit on the easier side gameplay wise for a turn-based RPG, especially because of the simple thing right here, this being a save point. Even when you go to the ends, you don't have to pay anything to recover. So that's a plus, but it also takes a lot of the challenge out of the game. But all in all, the gameplay and the controls are very solid for this game. Now for the last thing, this game has 71 achievements on the Xbox. 36 of them are just for the first Grandia game. 2,000 achievement points total for this game. Now, The achievements for this game, there are some missable ones, so you kind of want to pay attention to like a guide or something for that. But the majority of the achievements are just playing through the story, and then a few ones for certain actions you got to do, like this side quest, this side quest, this side quest, or collect all the mana eggs, which is hands down probably the most difficult one of the game. You have to find 18 mana eggs in the game. But if you're following a walkthrough, that's not going to be that much of an issue. There's no difficulty modifiers for this game. There is for the second one, though. And there's an achievement for that, but I'll cover that when I get to the second game. So all in all, the achievements aren't bad for this game. And looking at this overall as a package for the first game, it's got a great story. The graphics are good and upgraded, although I still have my issues with like the sharpened images that cause breaking in the characters or the backgrounds and stuff like that. The music and sound effects are great. The gameplay and controls are simple, yet it has enough in it to keep you paying attention to the battle instead of just rapidly mashing A for fighting. And the achievements are overall balanced. Now, if this was the PlayStation or the Sega version of the game, I would probably give this game an 8 out of 10, but due to the flaws with the graphics and like you can see by looking at Justin's foot, you see the clipping. That's actually due to the graphics update for the HD. I'll have to give this game a 7 out of 10. It's a very much an above average game. Great story. I highly recommend it, if nothing else, just to play through once. The story is spectacular. And there's a lot of memorable characters in the game. I think there's only like one character in the game that I kind of feel is lacking, but I mean, overall, all the characters are really well done. I wish a lot of newer RPGs put this much effort into the personality of the characters. I would remember them more, because the second game, I don't barely remember any of the characters. Like, I remember what one or two of the characters look like in my head, but I can't remember their names. Most of the characters in this game I remembered before I even got them. So, much better cast of characters. 7 out of 10. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And with all things gaming, Game Logic. Have a good night.